All right. I am coming through. You want to give me a little check there?
Check. Hey.
Perfect.
1, 2. Hey.
Wow, so sultry. There's a lot of low end there.
I get complaints about the low end.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, really not I feel like it's only a music producer thing to complain about, because otherwise it's like, ooh. I mean, I right now I was like, ooh, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, less complaints about low end with the bass, but I did do radio for a bit, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to Loyola Marymount for college in LA.
Okay.
And their station is called KXLU, and it's a pretty, I mean, locally it's like a, acclaimed, prestigious, independent radio station.
Okay. When was this? This was like before the music days, or?
I mean, I was in a band.
You were already playing. Yeah.
I went to school so that, like, I was in a punk band. We were doing band tours and tried to, I guess, like, my parents were like, we'll pay your cell phone bill if you go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't making enough money in my punk band to sustain, so I said okay, and I studied recording, and I really wanted to be part of the radio station. Actually, it was a big reason I went to that school.
Mm-hmm. God, the only dabbling I've ever done with radio is when I first started this podcast in 2014. I had someone from Coog Radio, which is like the University of Houston, campus radio, which I did not go to. And they were just like, hey, I've got an hour. If you guys want to come try your podcast out,
oh, sweet.
Sounds good. So I went there, sat down, and then I could just see his face changing as he realized that, like, oh, this isn't like a radio. Like, they're here and they're basically bullshitting. Like, well, I was interviewing, but it was by no means like a radio interview. I was, it was like this. It was a lot more casual.
Sure.
And he fucking hated it. He never invited me back. And I think I decided to stick to podcasting then. But then it leaves me to situations like this where I have to bombard your green room. Thank you very much. And have
you
my
were
entire...
invited.
That's true.
You were invited.
I'm a vampire, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. But just to segue...
Are we going? Is this it?
We're going.
Oh, we're going.
This is it. This has been it. This has been the beginning. Thank you for thank you for inviting me into your personal space on this tour.
My pleasure, yeah.
Just a little about, I do this every time I start a podcast, and I think the people who probably listen to the show are like, oh, fucking here he goes again. But I gotta wax poetic about my relationship with your music, and in turn with you.
Wax on, dude. Wax on.
I'm sure you hear this a lot from people. Your music saved my life, and I can without digging too deep into that, I can absolutely say that. I think in specifically with Queens, this was a band that was always kind of around for me, and then something clicked where I noticed different things in different parts. And I think it was around the time I got into Fugazi, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what the connection or correlation is there, but I think, maybe they opened my eyes to something.
The ethos.
Well, they definitely brought me out of punk, right? Like, I was only into going to hardcore shows, and then it opens you up to the bands that are definitely, by definition, a lot of times punk bands, but, aren't sitting there in the... So, from that point on, man, this band, your band, the music that you have made, and you're across, multiple projects, has done a tremendous amount for me through the hardest parts of my life, and it's been very much like the soundtrack of my life. So just to start this off, I got to do the thing that every corny music fan does when they meet someone that they admire. Thank you for deciding to make this your life, your passion, for giving so much time into this thing that has done so much for me. So I have to say that, because I don't know how. I know that music is yours when you make it, and you put it out into the world, it becomes the world. I've heard that from a lot of musicians. So your music has felt like mine for a while. I've just been like, this is my heart music. So it's been very exciting to watch you do different projects and, take up the front man, play. I didn't even know. I was like, you're doing everything. You're a multi-instrumentalist beyond the degree that I actually really knew. So just, thank you. And
you're welcome.
We'll stop there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have a question.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. It's nice to hear, and yeah, you hear it in different ways. But yeah, just stop now.
Yeah, I won't. That's it. You can't. I can only do so.
No, go on
much
though.
of it. Well, I do have a question. Ultimately,
Yes.
this is what this is about. I kind of have discovered your projects as they've rolled out. Right, you've rolled them out. I think it almost feels like, and correct me, it almost feels like you switch hats and you roll these projects out. You put them out, and I know you've probably always got other things going on with the other projects, but right now it feels like you have your glue hat on. Just soundly. You're on this tour, you're rolling out some songs. So I would love to talk about what the past few weeks have been like as you've entered this tour. As you start to play these songs to the world. Simply put, how is it feeling? How has it been?
It feels good. It's a weird process doing this, unlike any other one, because anything else I've done has been with a band, with another group of guys, a lot of opinions, a lot of deliberation and being democratic. Whereas, with this, it's on me, it's on my time, which is a big reason why I did this to begin with. Was I needed something that less about control, less about creative control, but that's part of it, but more just like when I want to make music or when I do something, I want to just go do it. And so, and kind of like what you were saying before, it's like, you're like, thank you for like putting the time in, but it's like, I don't have a choice.
Sure.
Like, this is what I love to do. I need to do this. I need to go on tour. So now, do I need to go? I was just a year and a whole cycle with Queens, and we did our thing. And we're about to go do more stuff. It's like, do I need to go do this? No, probably not. Do I need to be by myself driving in a car across the country? No. But I can't help myself, and I'm so happy to be out here, even if I'm by myself doing it. And so the process of this is like, I was rehearsing in my garage by myself, with fucking, everything. Like, if you stood outside, it would sound ridiculous because it's probably me just like karaokeing, and hearing like guitar strings not through an amp, in my garage. Like, what the fuck's going on in there? But so that's kind of been the process, and I can rehearse as much as I want, and I can, play over and over and over again until I feel good. And I do like to practice a lot. I do like to be rehearsed. And this sort of thing it's not a punk band, so it does need some sort of thought and production. And also, if anything fucks up, it's me. There's no mistaking that's the guy that fucked it up. So I want to be good.
Yeah, I know I've seen this labeled as a quote unquote like solo project.
Yeah.
So that's true in every sense of the word. Are you? I know you're having features and stuff like that, but this is would you call this, all yours, your baby? Is this is a full representation of what it means when you're creating 100% on your own?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
I mean, yes, this is all me. I wrote, recorded, produced everything myself, and basically pre-mixed everything myself. My friend Adam, who's in Houston, actually,
okay,
who I'm going to see tomorrow, he mixed everything, and but I kind of have everything. As modern production goes, there's a lot of pre-mixing. There's a lot of, vocal effect choices that are already baked in that you give to a mixer. And that's part of the songwriting for me too, is kind of like, I'm making the song, I'm writing lyrics while I'm doing the production and while I'm mixing, basically. So it's an interesting thing, and I don't know if this is the only thing that, I wouldn't say this represents me completely. Sure. But it's one hat that I like to wear. But I do feel actually, like, lyrically and vocally and all that, it does represent me. How
about in comparison to, I'll say, Many Mansions, right? Where you're this, you're still very much at the front of this. You're it's your voice. It's to my understanding, your writing. Like, can you explain the distinction between those things, other than you quite literally being on the road by yourself right now and having less people? Is there maybe something it's doing differently? Like, just to dive in a little more into the distinction there. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Mini Mansions, basically there's two songwriters, me and Tyler. So, and most of the songs come out of one of us having a pretty good idea, pretty good representation of the song, or the idea, or the sound of the song, or whatever. And then we kind of share it amongst ourselves, and the three of us would figure songs out, talk about arrangements, say, I don't like this, let's not do this ever again. So it's definitely very democratic. And I think that's what's so great about that band, is that it is the sound of the three of us. Whether or not someone has a heavier hand in this song or another song, it is the sound of the three of us. But what ultimately kind of stopped us from continuing was that there's three guys that need to be happy, need to feel fulfilled musically and in life, financially. There's all these things that come into play. I'm 39 now, so we stopped when we were about 35. People they both got married. They both, like kids. Zach just had a child. He's been my best friend since we were 11 years old. So there are things that like people want to do in life besides just be on the road. Now I don't have that, so maybe this is my baby and this is what I want to go do because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to respect other people's lifestyles and choices, and it can be hard because you really want to see this band through and keep making music, but you got to respect it.
Is there any part of you that, like, when you're creating, like, with this project now, you're on your own, you're doing this thing, it's up to you, how conscious are you when in terms of trying to sound different than the other things you previously, if at all? Like, I've heard and for context, I've heard like the spectrum of answers on this. Like, there's a complete range in terms of like how much these things are being considered from project to project, from album to album even. But like, because this is stylistically, there's a Venn diagram here clearly with the stuff that you've done.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
But there's absolutely things on the outset I'm like, well, this is brand new. I've never heard him do anything like this before. So is that a conscious choice? Are you just letting it flow out of you? Like, how much of, where are we on that line there? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, okay, the best way to maybe describe that would be, with the first song I wrote was My Demons. And that whole piano riff it probably would have been a Mini Mansions thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, that feels, and I probably did have it for Mini Mansions, but then I was like, I've always wanted to try doing some kind of hip hop thing. And so I guess it was conscious to be like, I want to try something that's hip hop. And this is a good start that feels very in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And it's very musical, which is what I want this to be. I don't want it. It's not rap. Like, yes, I'm flowing and maybe rapping over a lot of stuff, but it's not rap. It's hip hop ish, but it's musical. It should feel very musical. There's guitars, there's bass, there's piano, there's strings. Like,
it feels organic. I think the places in which these hip hop parts, if you will, come in, they're not like they aren't jarring. They feel organic. There's never no shoehorning there, if that at all. I mean, that's how I feel when I listen to this project. I think I feel what you're saying there in terms of like, clearly I was trying, but I don't think you were ever like, I'm gonna put out a trap, right? Like, I'm gonna the content, the subject matter is now like completely different now and shit.
I that would feel false. And when you start to do it and it is a little bit different, I recognize that it's like, this could be laughed at, or when you're first doing it, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, is this weird? Is this, false? But I played it for close friends and peers that would judge me. Do you know what I mean? Like the guys that are like,
that we would tell you,
or be like, yeah, like fucking sucks. Like fucking these guys trying to do fucking
doing,
whatever.
dude?
Like,
sure,
because you have those friends and musicians.
And that's why you show it to them. Yeah,
totally.
Like, give it to me, please.
Yeah. Go ahead. And they were like, it's really fucking good. And I was like, okay, great.
Oh, yeah, I'm not crazy. Oh, thank God.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that kind of like, so I'm happy that I have friends that know me really well and would be honest with me, and not be too resentful or jealous or whatever the fuck that we all have in some regard.
I have one friend like that who's actually should be, shout out Julian, you're not here. He's the
Julian?
other half of this podcast.
Oh, okay.
And we've always worked together. Any other creative project we've had, and it's because of that. You have those people you rely on, and you're like,
Yeah.
I could probably work with someone else, but I know he won't lie to me when I'm like, hey, I got this fucking weird idea right now for this edit. Because right now we're working on a film, and we have been for like 2 years, a documentary.
Amazing. Cool.
And it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And a lot of it is because of that. Like, I'm like, I want to be different. I want to be new. But you never know when you're being crazy. Like
yeah.
If you are tapping into a part of yourself that you've wanted to and haven't, and feel confident about ultimately, right? Where I'm like, I think this is going to work, but it's mine now. And I'm not comfortable with putting it out into the world unless I can have that buffer of that person, like your friends, like Julian. It's like, dude, I don't know. Maybe let's try, can I try this or some shit? So,
well, there's respect in that too. Like you want, at least I feel like most people, sometimes it's not, you don't want to hear it because it's not how
right.
you feel, but ultimately you respect people that are honest and will speak their minds. And that's what you need around you in being creative and in business and everything, like in a partnership. Relationship, like you need that, right?
And sometimes it sucks.
It does.
Sometimes
it does.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, God, and you walk away, they're like, they're wrong.
Right.
That's not right at all. And then a little time settles, it simmers, and you're like, oh, they're fucking right.
Yeah.
Damn, they were totally right. But that didn't happen here. You got the affirmation that you had been, you were so confident.
Yeah. It's funny. I had this girlfriend when I first joined Queens. So I was like 21, and I was dating this girl, and whatever. It wasn't like a long relationship, but we're friendly still. And I saw her at Zach's wedding a couple years ago, and she's like, "Oh, I saw you doing this thing, cool, blah blah blah, and I really like it." And I was like, "Cool, yeah." And she's like, "What's weird?" She's like, "I always thought you were gonna do like a rap thing." And I was like, "Real? What?" And I was like, "Seriously?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Why would? What
she's
is?
Like, I always just saw that in you, and I was like,
"Were you?"
So when I was dating you when I was 21. You thought that, and
were
now
you
I'm 30.
Listening to a lot of rap at the time? Like,
I like hip hop, but like, I mean, no, it wasn't like I was like we were.
Huh.
So she was like, and I was like, that's really interesting. I probably didn't see it in myself, although over time I eventually was like, there's something about it I want to do. But it's so weird that someone saw that.
So
and I
did
was
you
like,
think that before? Were you like, you're right, or do you think that maybe that like was a seed? Like, could that have been like half of a seed that was planted? Where you go, shit, I've always maybe.
No, but I'd already started doing it.
Okay, so you were. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. She had heard it, and she was like, I think it's really good.
Okay,
and I always thought that you might do something like this.
This was a couple years. Okay, got it. Wow.
And I was like, that's really weird.
Like, well, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, bitch. No. Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, and those are the kind of things that like maybe you're like, okay, like, yeah, the sim is real, and I'm right in it, and like, this is where I'm supposed to be,
So on that note, I mean, are you? Well, kind of an annoying two-part question, but does the music you listen to change by the project that you're focusing on? And then the second part is, now that you're doing this project, are you listening to more hip-hop? Like, and who? Like, how does that shift?
I guess the answer, I think, to all the questions is no.
Is no. Okay. So you're.
I don't remember all of them, but
yeah. Let's run. That's why it's an annoying question.
Please, yeah, my memory.
Does the music, change that you're listening to depending on where you're at, what band you're playing with, the project, and is there more
and
hip hop? Yeah.
What do I listen? No, I don't. To be honest, I don't listen to music much.
Hey, I understand.
I really don't. I listen to podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts. I listen to music.
There you go.
Isn't that funny?
And this is this is
so
why it works.
Funny, dude. I can't stand them. I'm like, I'm good. That is so funny.
Well, you don't want to. You do it all the time. You don't want to. You don't want to hear, especially someone else's voice.
No way, dude.
You know what I mean?
I need to do the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I need to do the other thing. Listen to music in my car. Like car time is music time.
Car time is podcast time.
That's wild. Yeah. Okay. That's fun. What podcast do you like? Just out of curiosity.
Armchair Expert.
Okay.
And Smart Lists, and Your Mom's House.
Okay.
And yeah, those are kind of my main ones. But I listen to all of the shit.
And I really like Bad Friends.
What's Bad Friends?
That's Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
It's really good, and I think they're both amazing.
Cracks me.
Yes,
up.
I need to like do a full dive.
That's probably the only one that will check out full episodes. Otherwise, I just ingest it via clips.
Yeah.
You know, podcast.
I will. Yeah, I love those guys. I will listen. I'm a big comedy guy, but the reason I do like Armchair Expert a lot, and because I would never be like, oh, Dax Shepard. I really want to listen to Dax Shepard. Like, that's not what got me, but someone's like, just check it out. And they have interesting guests. He's actually extremely intelligent, extremely articulate, and dives deep into, you know, trauma and wellness, and he comes from punk rock. So there's a lot of things that I align with, and I like to hear some real shit, not just people chatting, but getting deep. I think it's really interesting. I think that's why I like that show a lot.
I dig it. No, yeah. I admittedly have not listened to it very much. So
pick someone that you like really want to listen to. Like, I think the first one I listened to was like Quentin Tarantino. I was like, okay, I'll listen to Quentin because I want to hear him talk. So that was a good introduction to me.
Sick, dude. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, and I'll let everyone know that you recommended me. I'll leave an iTunes or an Apple.
They don't need
podcast review,
but they don't need any more.
They don't need.
They have so much money. They're good. They're good.
I work for an ad agency writing ads for podcasts.
You do?
Yeah, and
what kind of ads we talking?
All of them. Like literally the ones. Like if you hear it, I probably have dabbled.
AG1.
No.
Well, I guess not all of them.
Well, you know, okay, like, you know, the more the brands, right? Like I'll maybe bleep these,
okay. That's on there.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
I write that copy.
Gotcha. Quince.
It's a lot. It's you'd be surprised. Like I've learned, I'm like, oh, there's so much money in podcasting. It's crazy. Like I see the numbers.
Did you get it yet? Did you get all the money?
No. Well, look, this is me after doing this for 10 years, this is still very much a DIY thing. Like this, I don't get paid to do this pod, but I've built up enough experience to like work in the corporate side of podcasting.
Cool.
So which is great because it leaves me time and I can do things like this, which is ultimately my passion.
We need to find you some money then.
We do. You want to help me with that?
Would love to.
Okay, we'll talk.
Oh, I produced a podcast.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I've done so many, yeah.
And I've got a few that I'm trying to do. So maybe I can find you the money.
If you need some help, let me know. I've produced many podcasts.
Great.
Best podcast in Houston award right here. This one.
What fool?
Yeah, this one is best podcast in Houston. Yeah.
Hell
There's
yeah!
not
Congratulations.
a lot of podcasts, it's not like Los Angeles where it's the town of. I've pretty much hit the ceiling. But
I'm also tough to you.
I've been able to do this enough where I get to talk to people like you, and it's really the only, like, I kind of reserve it now. I do this every couple months when I can get these interviews with you, with Joe from Idols, with Warpaint and Fugazi and some of these bigger pools, because that's how I get the most out of this, and I learn the most, and I love to try and learn the things about you because it makes your music make more sense to me, and not even necessarily shit about the music, but like for instance, I love to know what kind of movies you like what other media are you consuming, because I know that plays into your art as well. At least it does with me. I'm like, dude, I was listening to this song. We should put this kind of sound in this, edit. So like drawing those connections bring me closer to the thing I already love, which is the stuff you've created. So on that note, yeah, like what other media are you consuming?
But also you got an interview with Fugazi.
I did. I got Brendan Canty. So not the whole band.
You got Brendan. Okay, who else?
Brendan. I got Joe.
Of course you got Brendan and Joe.
Yeah, I can't.
The rhythm section.
Yeah,
of course you got the fucking rhythm section.
Of course, listen.
Which
the greatest.
I learned most of my stuff from that, but like.
Yep, the greatest rhythm section ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Very good.
However, yes, I think you gotta. If Ian and Guy ever come around, I absolutely will be hitting up Brendan and Joe. Be like, hey, what do you guys think about bringing those two in? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But they're the greatest. They're so nice, and they're in a band. Like Joe and Brendan are in a band.
What is the band again?
Called the Mesthetics, and it's almost like a surfy kind of punk band, like super like just drivey. If that but it's dope.
I think my punkest friend has told me about that band.
He's still got that cast iron bell, which I nerded out really hard for.
Wow.
And I'm sure you love Joe.
Yeah.
And God, I could go on and about
so
Fugazi, but I want to talk about your new song. I know you have a new song getting ready to come out.
Yes.
And I know this will come out coinciding with that. I think we're going to time that up. Can you give us any sort of like I don't know, any sort of news, ideas as to what we should expect with it?
Yeah. I think I've only put out that EP, so what you've heard, unless you've seen me live and heard these songs that are unreleased. I think there's a good spectrum of shit within that EP, but this one's the most upbeat song that I've done. Mind you, it was all basically done at the same time as the first EP. I've had this stuff done and ready to go. It was just about timing. And it's the most upbeat song. It's a dance song. And I got my friend Miles. Like I was starting to sing the chorus and I was like, I'm kind of just singing like Miles. And his name's Miles Kane, and he's one of my best friends and Liverpool boy, and he's the other half of the Last Shadow Puppets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's the best. I love him to death. I was just on tour with him in the UK. And so I was like, I should just have him do it. And then I heard like the bridge having this really like, he's not a Scouser, I guess, or is he a Scouser technically? He is a Scouser. I always forget if Liverpool or Scouser. They told me this whole thing about like certain northern he is Scouser.
I'm such a dumb American. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No idea.
Well, so
please educate me.
Liverpool. Okay, like in the UK, I think I've got all the UK accents down pretty much. Not going to do it.
Let's go through. Yeah.
No, not a chance. But I know the regions, like Birmingham.
Okay.
Like there's just like Birmingham, and then like Liverpool has a whole different thing, and Manchester has a whole different thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's all you have to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's as far as I'll go too.
Yeah. They have narrow nasal passages.
Oh,
that's why.
It's the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a Scouser. So I kind of heard a Scouser voice like talking on the bridge, and he did this thing, and he basically came up the words almost on the spot when we did the session. And he's just so like witty and funny, and so it was just like worked out like that. And it's just like a fun. It's a dance song. That's all I can tell you. It's called Boogeyman.
I can't wait. Yeah, I think by this point it'll be out. So please go listen to it, everyone. I'm just so thrilled that you're like anything you're gonna make, I'm gonna listen to. That's just how easy it is for me. And I'm just so thrilled that you're finding these different parts of yourself to express through your music that are probably fulfilling new parts of you creatively. That's so exciting for me to hear as a fan, where I'm like, God, that's got to be rejuvenating, and it's got to be like, because you're saying I don't necessarily have to go on tour right now. There's a reason you are. There's a reason you're not sitting at home right now, waiting for the next run. You're choosing to go out here and do this, and that makes me really happy because it gives me something too. As selfish as it may feel at the time, because you should always do things for yourself. I want you to only create if you feel like you can. And I don't know, all this to say that I think it's just awesome that you clearly do, and you are excited to, and now we're getting this because of it. And the world needs it right now. Like, I need y'all's music more than fucking ever. I need your music more than fucking ever.
Cool.
So it's just incredible. Yeah. But
Cool.
I don't want to pass over the I'm serious about understanding. I need to know what movies and media you're watching right now. I have to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me something here.
Let me think about this.
What trash TV are you watching?
Oh man,
Are you
fuck! I love trash.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start there.
I'm a big big garbage dump.
Love is Blind?
Fuck yeah, all of them.
God. All of, like, even the international?
All of them. Actually, well, I thought the best one was the UK one, actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was the best one. I tried Japan.
They were too friendly.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, yo, like, I need more drama.
Yeah. They were just like, she's a nice woman. She's beautiful. And I'm like, no, that's not why I'm here. Like, you need to hate each other.
Yeah.
God.
Backstab her. I couldn't really do that one. I think that's maybe. I think just all the American, UK. Maybe I did Sweden.
I didn't watch that one.
Loved Sweden.
Okay,
that was pretty good.
Are they speaking in Swedish?
Swedish.
Okay. Oh, that's fun.
I actually asked the same question, and someone was like,
"Duh."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, shit."
I was like, "Well, they speak. I mean, their English is pretty good. So
why not just give us the funny English?
Yeah,
like that would be
funny
fun.
English. Yeah,
that's all Swedish is. That's just funny English.
Yeah, they're all what else do I love?
Married at First Sight. You done that one? Oh, that's a bad one.
I'm not full trash. Like, I've never seen any Real Housewives.
Oh, me neither.
There's just certain trash that I don't. I'll tell you what I did get into though. Was my sister was like, you gotta. This is like 2 years ago. She was like, you gotta go. Have you seen Vanderpump? And I was like,
haven't done it.
I was like, I'm not watching fucking. There's not a chance. She's like, trust me. Season 10. I think it was season 10. She's like, you gotta go watch it. You're gonna love it. And I'm like, there's not a chance. And she's like, just go. I was like, well, I'm not gonna just watch season 10. I gotta have context, but I don't want to go back to 1.
Yeah, no way.
So I was like, how about I go back to season 8? She's like, yeah, okay. So I went to season 8. I couldn't stand it. I was like, fast forwarding, like, just to get.
Sure.
And then it got to like the reunion of 8, and I was like, excuse me? And then was like, okay.
I can't.
And then went back to the beginning. Because it's so... It's really... It's such trash. But you know what? I need... Like, I don't want to get home and watch like Fellini. And I need to like decompress.
It's easy, yeah.
I need to go look at other people. I'm like, these people exist? Holy shit. That's entertaining to me. Bachelor...
Yeah, ooh.
Huge Bachelor guy.
I like Survivor a lot. It's not
that was
quite trash, but
no. That is not trash whatsoever. And I'm glad that was the next one I was going to say.
Okay, yeah.
I could go on and on about Survivor. Oh, so Josh in my band was huge Survivor boy.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Huge Survivor boy, and we always be on the road, and he'd be like. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, so are you serious? Funny. Like, I remember Survivor when I was like 13.
Same way, dude.
I was like, I'm not watching Survivor.
I got into it like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're playing games.
Sure.
And then he was like, just try. And I was like, this is like 3 years ago.
Okay.
I watched one season, like the right one.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah.
I watched like Heroes and Villains.
Okay, that's the one I haven't seen. I did see Millennials verse. I think it's like either before. That was a fantastic one too. But yeah, Heroes and Villains I've heard is like the best one.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then all 46 seasons straight.
Oh, you did all of it?
Just pounded through.
Have you done Australia? I've heard that's really good. Survivor Australia.
What do you mean? Like a whole different...
It's a whole different one in Australia.
Not Jeff Probst.
No. And it's apparently crazy. It's different because it's like more gnarly. Because it's Australia. And they're just like the challenge... Like
Australia.
They have like,
Australia.
They have like wrestling matches and shit. Like how the earlier seasons they do like the fight pit or whatever. They still do that shit in Australia.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, like the gloves are off.
I'm so glad you told me that.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so glad.
Yeah,
that's the best show. It's so fucking good.
It's incredible how good it gets. Like the first half of the season, usually I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Let me try to remember who the names are.
Yeah.
And then the second half, I'm like, holy shit. And then like they have the immunity idol, but like she could play shot in the dark, and if they do that, like, and then this, especially the last season, I don't know if you watched the last one,
I
Operation.
Finished recently. You can tell me. Yeah.
Operation Italy.
Spoiler alert.
That episode, Operation Italy, where they did the whole
holy shit.
Best episode I've ever seen in my, like, I was mind blown how good it was.
It was unreal.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I hated all them too, but
they were
people. But they did it.
Amazing, dude. Have you watched Traitors?
So that's what I just started because people were like, actually, because I follow Michael Rappaport and he likes trash TV too. Okay. He likes Vanderpump. He's a big Real Housewives guy. Yeah. But he was like, me and my wife just watched Traitors season 3 hours straight.
It's dope.
It was the best TV I've ever seen, and so I was like, I got to see it.
It's fucking awesome. It's basically just the dirtier parts of Survivor,
right?
But then on top of that, instead of Jeff Probst, they have Alan Cumming, who's playing. He's even said he's playing a character.
Oh, like he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's not playing himself. He's playing this like just over like pro wrestling version of himself.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
It's insane how good he is.
Yeah,
and it's half the show is him. Like for me, I'm like, God, he's just so fun. Like it'll cut to him and he'll be like, well, isn't that like he'll like look right at the camera and be like, isn't this getting juicy? And you're like, how did he know how to do that? Like what?
He's a brilliant actor.
Okay,
so I'm only two episodes in to see. That's it. So I gotta,
dude,
I gotta dive deep.
Man, okay, all right.
You excited for me?
I'm literally going to message you in about a week or two. Okay. Be like, hey, did you see what the fuck just happened? Because there's a lot of us out here, but there's not a lot of us out here. Like in terms of, well, not a lot of us admit it.
Yeah.
Like the people that do, you usually don't want to talk to. Or like, I love, Real Housewives. I'm like, you kind of suck, but then I'll have a friend and they're like, I just watched. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Yeah. Yes. You got to lean in.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Dude, I don't want to keep you anymore. I've already been seating you. I know you have sound check in a little bit. So I want to give you time to do that. Give you time
want
to
respect.
I want to respect. I've already taken up enough of your time, but I would be remiss to not ask.
Yes.
Do you have any Queens news updates? Anything you can give, morsels that you can give the fans, the hungry fans out there? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, we did just. I don't know what this is going to be out, so it'll be whatever. But like today, whatever today is. We put our tickets on sale for summer, so we're back playing shows. There's other stuff that's in the works.
Okay.
That I won't talk about everything because that's part of the fun, right?
That's all.
There's a little mystery. You need mystery.
Yeah.
You don't want to fucking know everything. We're not telling you what we're having for lunch.
No.
You know what I mean?
I just
we
need to
don't
know
want
you're
that.
eating. That's all.
Yeah, most of the time, and but we're back, baby. And we're gonna have a busy year, and I don't see us slowing down.
Amazing. I saw you at In Bloom for the first time as a festival that existed for 1 year in Houston a few years ago. It used to be Summerfest, and then it got moved and became In Bloom, and then never happened again. And you guys were headlining, and Incubus was on the other stage. I don't know if you remember that.
Isn't that Innings Fest?
No. It was called In Bloom, and it was downtown Houston. Only existed for 1 year.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
It was. I got to.
Yes.
I had a photo pass. And I had
Fancy.
to, I know, well, usually I'll get a pass to like podcasts and shit, and then they'll be like, if you check this box, if you want a photo pass. And I'm like, sure, I'll take some pictures.
Yeah.
And usually I just use it as an excuse to get to the photo pit and like be there and be close. So I got to shoot photos of you guys and got
sick.
to like cry up close because you guys are my favorite band.
Oh, thanks.
And then again, drove to Austin to see y'all, you guys played 2 shows. One in Austin, and then I saw you guys again. I'm just gonna go through all the times I've seen you.
Yeah.
And then White Oak Music Hall, I saw you guys. It happened in short succession, is what I'm saying. It was like I hadn't seen you and was like, it'll never happen. And then you guys came to Texas like 3 times within a year or 2 or something.
Yeah. I love Texas. We love Texas.
We love you. Like, I know the Texas shows are always gnarly. At least the crowds are always super cool and dancey, and no one's like too fucking aggressive. Surprisingly, no one's aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
That's what is cool about our crowd, actually. Like, people, if you don't know our band or you kind of think you do, you think, oh, they're that, like well, people also say like metal band, but I'm like, I hate metal, but okay.
Okay.
And, but yeah, all the things that you would think about us. And you go to our show, it's like, it's very eclectic. It's very diverse. Maybe not as diverse as I'd hope. But like, it's like, yeah, it's all different kinds of people, and they love music. There's a few bad apples, but that's with anybody, any crowd. So I think as a whole, our fan base is really wonderful.
Well, it's a testament to you, to the music you guys have created, the vibes that it sent out, to the world.
Vibe, yeah.
It is truly a testament to the work you guys put in. So thank you, and a continued thank you for everything you'll do in the future. And thanks for sitting here with me today, dude. It's been a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of vibes, maybe you can take this on. Just one last thing.
Okay. Yeah.
My friend John Congleton, who he's a Dallas boy, and he lives in LA now, but he's a producer, engineer, brilliant. And he's got this thing in his studio that when you're in the studio, if you say vibe, you got to put $1 in the jar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I mean,
so maybe take that with you on the next.
Yeah. There's a reason I winced as soon as I said it.
You see, I say vibe too, but we know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay as long as we're aware.
Yeah.
Then
self-awareness.
We'll stay above. Cool, dude. Well, have a fantastic show. Have a fantastic tour, and I'll hope to talk to you again soon. Next time you're in Texas.
I love this. This is great. So yeah, happy to.
All right. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.